uh, ever wonder why some TV moments stick with you long after the credits roll? Uh, it's not always about explosions or shocking twists. Sometimes it's the quiet, devastating moments of truth. And for many, Tony Soprano's last therapy session is exactly that. It's a scene that almost 2 decades later still feels uh, raw and profoundly unsettling. Uh, this wasn't just a mob boss on a couch. It was a glimpse into a deeply flawed, desperately searching man. The series constantly reminds us that nothing is permanent. This idea permeates every storyline, every character arc, and especially Tony's journey with Dr. Melfi. Um, as the show neared its conclusion, the carefully constructed world around Tony began to shift, and that final session served as a brutal punctuation mark. It wasn't just an ending for Tony and his therapist, it was a symbolic closing of a door on the possibility of genuine change. The session unfolds in season 6, and the tension is palpable. Before even entering the office, Dr. Melfi faces scrutiny from her colleagues for treating a criminal. Uh, um, they see her work as enabling Tony, um, not rehabilitating him. And it's a challenge to her professional ethics and a foreshadowing of what's to come. Tony begins his usual routine, rehashing familiar phrases and justifications. But this time, Dr. Melfi doesn't allow it to. She cuts him off, confronts his lack of progress, and delivers the ultimate blow. She's terminating their sessions, and Tony predictably tries every manipulation tactic imaginable. But Dr. Melfi remains firm. It's a disappointing yet strangely admirable outcome. From the very beginning, Tony approached therapy with a selfish agenda. He rarely acknowledged his toxic patterns or genuinely attempted to change. Uh, um, and he treated Dr. Melfi more like a confessor than a therapist confessing crimes without accepting responsibility. Uh, and Dr. Melfi wasn't blameless either. Um, but she allowed herself to become invested in Tony, perhaps hoping to save him. This savior complex fueled her willingness to tolerate his behavior, ultimately enabling him rather than helping him. It was a classic case of ego getting in the way of professional boundaries. And the session also marked the end of an inappropriate dynamic battery, despite maintaining professional boundaries. There was an undeniable attraction and tension between Tony and Dr. Melfi. The final meeting closed that chapter, severing a connection that, well, complex, was ultimately unhealthy, given them with 6 seasons and 86 episodes. The Sopranos offered a rich tapestry of characters and storylines, but it's easy to overlook the quieter moments, especially in an era of binge watching and instant gratification. The therapy sessions, however, are crucial. They provide a window into Tony's psyche, allowing us to understand his motivations and reactions. And these sessions also humanize Tony, revealing his fears and vulnerabilities, intruding and talking. He worries about his children, particularly his son EJ, and the possibility of passing on his negative traits. It's a glimpse of the man beneath the mob boss, a man struggling with his own demons. And more importantly, The Sopranos broke ground by focusing on men's mental health. And before this series, tough guys rarely sought therapy. Um, Tony's panic attacks and subsequent sessions with Dr. Malfi challenge to that stereotype, sending a message that seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Carmela and AJ, this is also sought therapy, adding further depth to the show's exploration of psychological issues. These sessions weren't just plot devices, they were integral to the character's development and the show's overall message. Is Tony Soprano a sociopath? It's a question that has been debated for years, and he's ruthless and manipulative and lacks empathy, and not particularly entirely. So this is yet he also displays moments of loyalty and vulnerability for normal. Some argue he's more narcissistic than sociopathic, driven by a need for control and admiration. Uh, Regardless of the diagnosis, Tony's therapy sessions are central to understanding his character. They reveal his inner turmoil, his conflicting desires, and his inability to truly change. And it's easy to skip these scenes, but they're essential to the narrative. And out of all the moments in one of the greatest TV shows of all time, Tony's final session with Dr. Malfi remains one of the most emotionally unsettling aspects of, and it's a stark reminder that not everyone gets a happy ending, and that some wounds may never heal. And speaking of healing, you know what they say about therapy, it's expensive but cheaper than jail. And with that said, thanks for watching, and until next time,